was really cool. I had a great time with this, honestly. I thought it was a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of people like kind of overhype it a bit. But for real, I actually really love this. I think it's a really awesome album. I don't like it quite as much as I do the previous one, White Man and Black Man 2. I thought that was fucking awesome. Honestly, that album might be like a 9 for me now. I fucking love that album, bro. I think it cracked my top 10 of the 2015 list I did a few years ago. If I could go back, it would probably crack the top 5. It's a sick fucking album. I love the shit out of it. And yeah, this new album, Cocoa Sugar, okay, so I think, here's the thing. This, to me, is sonically their most cutting edge and interesting album yet. I just don't think it really quite retains the phenomenal songwriting that White Man and Black Man 2 did. But musically, this is by miles, I think, their most daring release, and I love it for it. I think this thing is incredibly just alluring. Sonically, the experience of listening to Cocoa Sugar is really unlike any of their other albums. It's a super, or any other album that came out this year I've heard so far. It's just a really one-of-a-kind style they've kind of carved themselves out for on Cocoa Sugar, and I really like it. I actually think a prime example of what I'm trying to get at here was actually on the song Fee Fi, which is a song I've seen a lot of people label as the worst track. And to me, here's the thing, because that's the thing, on the first listen of this album, on listen number 1, Fee Fi was like my favorite song, and it's still one of my favorites. I actually think Fee Fi is really cool. It is weird though, that's the thing, that's why I love it. It's just such a weird blend of ideas that just don't work, but as a result of them not working, they do. Like, you have this like piano, these piano chords, like doo-doo-doo-doo, like this weird piano thing, and then this like, it's right there for you refrain. It just doesn't mix. Like, it's just so alluring to me how they pull all these sounds off. I'm just hearing it like I'm just in like a trance. I'm like, this is just such a weird blend of ideas. And they're like, no, the weird little voice on the verse. Like, it's just so odd. Like, I can't help but be hypnotized by it. It just ends up sticking out as one of the most standout moments on the album for me. I just think it's really interesting. It's such a weird musical passage. In fact, to be honest with you, actually, the first 3 songs, See How, Fee Fi, and the third track, In My View, they all kind of run to me as like one big song. Like, it's such a good 3-track stretch in my opinion. Like, the opening track, See How, just the weird like the weird little like squeaky thing that happens, that little melody is really interesting. I'm not even really mad at the short length. I think it uses up its length really nicely. The musical challenges, the musical, you know, experiments that really make this thing unique, truly just allure me. Like, In My View, another great example, has a really like weird, like gravelly, bassy kind of beat with these weird little just kind of pinging drums, and the way it builds and then that final hook comes in, it's just so grand and epic. Like, sonically, this is just such a sick journey, and I ain't even dived into the lyrics yet. Like, lyrically, there are so many different things. It's kind of scatterbrained, actually. There's not really like an ongoing theme like there was on White Man and Black Man 2, which is a heavily political album. Every track on Cocoa Sugar is like its own individual vignette of sorts. In My View is sort of depicting like a selfish person who's trying to be like a king of sorts. Like, you're saying like, I want to be king until I am. Like, you're sort of chasing to be number 1, but when he gets there, he's like, maybe this wasn't what I wanted, man. Saying like nothing's ever given away, he's real selfish, he's not like a generous type dude, just sort of depicting this like kind of selfish, like, you know, power hungry guy. Then you have Turn, the next track, we're just sort of talking about like, I guess, becoming accustomed to like a different culture, or like immigrating maybe, or like maybe just being in an environment you're not familiar with, saying like, you know, I don't want to be like you guys, I'm nothing like you. He didn't come this far to stay where he belongs, he's now entering like a new territory, finding a new path in life or something that's just like, you're just not used to it yet. You can interpret this however you want, but I like the general sentiment here. Or Wow, which is all about, I guess, now, like today. Everything's so amazing. Wow, that's so wow. Like, he's so like amazed, but he sounds so like tired at the same time. And then he says at the end, he's talking about like ego and shit. And now I think that's sort of a depiction of today with, you know, phones and social media, how we're all kind of obsessed like getting likes and sort of like an ego sort of race. But it's like you're like, whoa, this is all so incredible. Like, the technology is amazing, but you're just kind of stuck in the days of it. See, lyrically, I like what's going on here. And Fee Fi as well, which sort of depicts like a giant, like Fee Fi Fo Fum. Like, it seems to be depicting like a person stopping you from getting where you want to go. Like, oh, you think you can do this? Like, Fee Fi Fo Fum, like, you know, he's trying to stop you. It's right there for you. Like, you can achieve your goal, but this giant, this like looming giant that seems to sort of be stopping you, you could interpret as like self-criticism or something, or other people bringing you down or something. That's not how I'm kind of perceiving the song. But yeah, musically, again, I love what's going on in this album. I think Toy is really interesting. They're kind of like fast-paced, like I think that shit's pretty cool. Picking You, I thought was really epic and nice. I love the singing on that track as well, but I'm picking you and you. Pretty sick sick closer in my opinion. I love that. In fact, vocally, these guys are really good singers. I don't think people give them credit enough for how good they are at singing. Holy Ghost, oh man, that song. Holy Ghost, bro, that is so catchy. I'm alright. Like, the way he sings it is so sick. It's such a catchy hook. As well as See How. I love the vocals at the end of See How. See how we. That shit is so beautiful. I love that shit so much. But yeah, the only song I wasn't really feeling at all was actually the song Tremolo. I didn't really care for that. The whole Tremolo My Soul fucking lyrical theme, the whole idea of like appreciating the highs by going through the lows. I get it, but it just doesn't really interest me. It feels like a bit of an inconsequential topic. Like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, you gotta go through the lows to appreciate the highs, but there's not really like an end game. Like there is like on, say, like Turn or something, which has that hook where like, I'm nothing like you. It's like, this is like the grand thing. It feels fulfilling. Tremolo never really reaches that point. I think that's actually a problem with quite a few of these tracks. Like they have these like huge builds, which don't really pay off into anything massively fulfilling by the end. But yeah, Tremolo My Soul has this organ, and it has a really abrupt ending, and I just don't like the organ melody. It gets really dull to me, like pretty quick. And Wire, I love Wire, but I hate Wire. Why is it so short? I just have it's like a minute 40, but I love it. Like the fucking like screechy like ding 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 ding. That shit is hard as fuck. I actually think that shit is fucking sick. But yeah, it's just a bit, you know, annoyingly inconsequential, and just feels like a filler moment when it could have been like such a sick thing. It's a shame. But yeah, generally though, I am highly enjoying this album. I think it's really dope. I don't like it as much as One Man Batman 2, but I still think it's really great. I like the scatterbrain nature of it. I like the experimental approach to sound play, how they're just kind of combining all these weird things that you wouldn't think work, but they just somehow kind of do. Or at least they do to me. And I think that hook-wise, it's got some great hooks. Singing is lovely. Instrumentally, it's really daring and cutting edge and challenging. One of the most interesting and fun releases of the year for me. Also, I totally forgot to mention the song Lord somehow, which is crazy because it's a dope track. I really love it. I love the choir vocals in this song. The gospel influence just really elevates this song to a higher plane of just transcendence. The vocals are really just grand and beautiful and celestial and awe-inspiring. A really awesome track. One of the most satisfying musical payoffs on the whole album for sure. I'm really baffled I forgot it, because you could argue it's probably like the centerpiece of the album given how diverse it is compared to the other tracks with those gospel influences, which just kind of adds to why I think this album is really distinctive and interesting and unique and alluring. It's just such an idiosyncratic release, and moments like this song are an example as to why, as well as the gospel influence that also occurs on the first track, See How, which also features some nice choir vocals too. But yeah, go check out this album though, it's really cool, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. It's got a lot of replay value for me. I can definitely see some issues people may have with it, you know, like the lyrics are kind of ambiguous, frustratingly at times. Like, that's part of the reason I wasn't really feeling Tremolo like that song. Like, I get the musical topic, I get the lyrical idea, but I just don't really think there's really much you can do with it. It's kind of flimsy, and the direction they do take with it, I just thought was really frustratingly vague and just really kind of unsatisfying to me, really unfulfilling. But generally though, it's just too quirky and unique of a listen for me not to be fascinated by it. And I think they use these really interesting musical passages that they've come up with on this album to great effect a lot of the time. But yeah, regardless of my opinion, whilst it's not their like fucking quintessential masterpiece, I actually thought their last album was superior overall. Still, this shit is dope, and I recommend checking it out. Yeah, but anyway, back to the ending of the actual review. I'm gonna give it an 8. I thought it was really cool. I had a great time with it personally. You know, I've seen some people not really digging it as much. I've seen some people really overhyping it. I just say overhyping. Overhyping. But yeah, if I'm being real, for me, I loved it. I thought it was dope. Yeah, I mean, Young Fathers came through again with another solid album to me. This is probably their most cutting edge thing they've released yet. Those are my thoughts on Cocoa Sugar by Young Fathers. Blah!